Every year, hundreds of school leavers travel overseas to volunteer in developing countries. However, new research suggests these projects may be doing more harm than good. The volunteerism industry is worth $2.6 billion worldwide, with placements ranging from $2,500 to $7,300 for 3-month placements. There are 5 major companies that offer volunteerism in Australia, combining to send over 1,000 students away each year. Caroline Skinner went to Ecuador with commercial operator Antipodeans Abroad in 2010. She chose to volunteer to do something different.
I didn't want to just travel, I wanted to try and give something back, I guess. Not necessarily make a difference. I mean, like, particularly now, I think that an 18-year-old who goes somewhere for 3 months isn't really going to make any sort of long-lasting difference. But yeah, just to do something different and try and make, maybe a little difference.
She says her work had a positive effect on the local community.
I think for what we did for sort of volunteering in schools for disabled kids, because they were quite small classes and they were never going to be able to fund to have another teacher there, that sort of thing I don't think really has a negative impact.
However, not all trips are helping out. Stephen Waring is an associate professor at the University of Technology, Sydney. He says there has been a huge growth in the commercialisation of gap year volunteering.
Probably in the mid-80s you started to see more and more groups getting interested outside of just NGOs, and then probably about 10 years ago the commercial sector and tourism industry discovered it, and since then it's boomed in terms of the commercialisation of it. So now you've got a lot of large companies, a lot of large tour companies, like even Student Travel, STA, are into volunteer tourism. And so it's just expanded. So originally just small, just individuals, particularly Gen Ys.
This has brought on large problems.
The problem's been the growth so quickly. The issue is commercial projects, and even though NGOs get it wrong as well, there tends to be a lot longer lead-up time and a lot better evaluation of NGO projects because they've got long-term relationships usually with who they work with in those communities, particularly in those countries. But with commercial organisations, a lot quicker, like they're not expending as much time or energy or money on setting up projects.
Antipodeans Abroad sends up to 250 students away on gap year placements every year. They say they don't go into new destinations lightly.
We wouldn't send any volunteers anywhere unless we'd been and met the in-country partner and checked out the project, and that can take up to, a year, 2 years.
They set 3 months as their minimum placement time.
So there definitely can be problems with volunteerism as a whole, which is why our gap placements are 3 months. Most of the studies show that, particularly with separation anxiety, there's a 4-week sort of minimum that we'll put on any of our placements. The minimum of 4 weeks so that our students can get a good experience. It's also proven to be really bad for the volunteer themselves, going into a project and not having long enough to go through that cycle.
Caroline agrees, saying potential volunteers should go for a lengthy period of time if they want to have a valuable experience.
If you're going to go for, at least 3 months, you got enough time to settle in, see a bit of the country and, not make a difference, but contribute more.
More information on volunteerism can be found online on the International Ecotourism Society website. Emily Jacobs, UTS News.